Hey everyone, if you take a look at my last video, I was talking about the Great Awakening. This here is from the Great Awakening Map, .org, I believe. I'll put all the links below. And you might want to take a snapshot of this. It's quite intense, but these people have done a lot of research. And right here, you can see that we're talking about, like I said before, the return of free energy, the return of a secret space program, but I will add programs. There are many programs that are space energy, or space programs that have been around for a long time. Some of them are newer or revivals of the old, which is long before we lived, etc. Where you want to know is, where do you stand in this great awakening? So in this pyramid here, we're going to take a look at where it all starts. So it's the sheep that are asleep. And when we go right up to the top, the mystery of the universal creation. And that's where we're getting to. The memory is locked inside of us. We know where we came from. We know where we've been, and we know why we're here. But we're blinded to it because of what? Our own creation. You can blame the outside world all you want, but you are afraid, you're scared, you're frightened, and that is how we survive. We survive by being afraid. That is key. The more you are afraid of, and the number one fear is the fear that you could die, which is inevitable in this human form, but your spirit and your soul will never die, or that you can't survive. And when we were in tribal stages, we were not able to survive without our tribe. If we were left or casted away, we would die. The other ones is blocks, things that make us feel like we're going to die. If I don't eat the right food, I'm going to die. If I don't go do the right exercise, I fear that I'm going to die. I might be casted out by the tribe. I might not be strong enough to survive. Other things are real traumas that happen to you throughout your life that has created blocks. And this is what I love about the work that I do, is I help you reveal what they are. Not in a judgmental way, like your mom did this, your dad did that, your cousin did this when you were younger, your job did that when you were a teenager, you were in a poor marriage, you had bad friends, you had really poor, challenging health issues. It's not about that. It's always about one thing, and that is the level of the soul. Pluto is where you want to take a look at that. Pluto in the 12th house. And Pluto in the 12th house is the shadow of the soul. It is the ego. You don't want to heal your trauma. You don't want to heal your childhood issues. I know, right? No, that is not the way to go. You want to heal the ego. There's the id, the ego, and the superego. The id we have from the age of 0 to the age of 7, 6 or 7. And that is pure survival. I need to eat. I need to be warm. I need to be fed. I gotta poop. And I want the love of my mother. That is a primal, those are all primal id needs. And the id takes care of that. If it means screaming your head off as an infant, and that makes mom or any caretaker come running to you to feed you, then that's what you'll learn. That's learned behavior, right? If it's just a little, okay. Or maybe you never had to do that. It was constantly, willingly provided for you on a regular basis. Now, the ego steps in when you're over the age of 7, when you no longer need all of those primals to be fulfilled, because you're starting to be able to utilize them yourself. Your parents are starting to wean away from you and constantly coddling every need that you have. And you start to go, what do I do to still maintain this? Do I get it from my tribe, my peers, my friends, my teachers, my colleagues, other members in my family, my brothers, my sisters, my aunts, my uncles, or continue to fight for it with my parents? Did my parents divide? And now I have to create 2 divided scenarios on how to create these things so that I don't feel hurt, sad, frightened, scared, alone. And when we do this, we are working through the ego. Now, as you become an adult, that doesn't work as well without you being shamed, blamed, or people tell you need to go to therapy because you got childhood trauma. right? We can eat our way out of it. We can drink our way out of it. We can substance abuse our way out of it. We can go to the gym till the cows come home and try to escape it. We can travel constantly, become workaholics. There's all types of avenues that we will go to continue to survive. The pain that was built up while the ego was shaped as a child and teenage years. So the ego is what needs to be healed, because the ego has been hardened, has been shaped, is blocking parts of who you are. It's created mask after mask after mask, and each mask deals with different situations. And I'll make a simple one. You love your mother-in-law. You love your niece and nephews. You love your husband, but you have to go to every family reunion, gathering, celebration, birthdays with that one sister-in-law, that one brother-in-law that makes you cray-cray. And so what do? You put on a mask. Oh, this one, we got a whole closet full of them, right? Put on that mask. And in astrology, I can see that. It's in the ascendant. It's in your Pluto. It's in your 12th house. If you know your time of birth, we can do ascendant 12th house. And often it's also with your moon. But it's also in conjunction or square or opposition of other planets. It might be, I see abandonment issues. What was abandoned? Your heart, your voice, your intelligence, your creativity, your love, a parent, a death, a fear was resurrected. And so love was abandoned. Did you abandon your own self-confidence? Right? There's all different levels of it. So you put this mask on, you go to your family gathering, and you pretend, or you force yourself not, or you block your words and your values and your morals to not engage with your sister-in-law or your brother-in-law so that everyone else can enjoy their time. You put that mask on. But what's the best thing to do during that time? While the mask is on, and it might be a healthy thing to do, but while that mask is on, it takes a lot of work to keep that mask on, like a lot. But while that mask is on, because after a while it just becomes quite easy and mundane, what is the trigger? When you go home, what is the trigger? Where do you feel it in your body? I can see that in astrological charts too. It's called medical astrology. And I can tell where your triggers are. For instance, if you got a lot of Taurus, it'll be in the throat and the voice and the thyroid area. If you've got a lot of Aries, it'll feel adrenaline rushing and anxiety, and you'll want to eat 3 desserts at the end of the celebration to get that sugar intake to keep up with the false energy, which is coming from your adrenals. It can come as a headache if you have a lot of Aries. If you've got Capricorn, you'll feel it in your knees. You'll feel it in your bones, maybe even having some work on your teeth. The list, Aquarius is your central nervous system. Virgo is your digestive system. The list goes on. And you can't avoid it. It's your body's language. Your body speaks to you. And what is that? What is it? So where are you? How do we get to the mysteries of the universe of creation? How do you get to the knowledge? It's by understanding all of those parts of who you are. And that can be years and years of work, or it can be just with a really good practitioner and great dedication to self-work. You can get to that. But where are we in the past life regression is right here in the middle. Quantum healing, hypnosis, that's what I do as well with neurolinguistic programming. Meditation can get you there. There are OBEs, out of body experiences, which can be called astral travel, astral projection. And then we get to the new earth. And we're getting to that enlightened new earth area as we speak. So take a look at these right now. We want world peace. We want universal knowledge. And the earth is now entering. Now, I'm not, this galactic federation. It sounds like really cool, especially if you're into sci-fi. I'm not all sold on that. The guardian of the cosmos, I definitely am. Every single planet is an entity, is a being, has an energy field, and they have been getting archaeological proof of this recently from over 300,000 years ago. And we're talking, they've got all 10 planets and the sun and the moon written on walls, ancient hieroglyphs and they can see the pictures like the Scorpion and the Capricornian of the constellations sketched on walls in the order that they're in, with the planets in front of them, just like an astrological chart. They've been using this. What else did they have to do but to stare up into the dark skies and figure out the meaning of their life, to end all suffering, to become a light body, sentient and enlightened. Take a look at the work lately, which is very much fascinating me, specifically if you watch his interviews. And that is Ancient Civilizations. And take a look at Graham Hancock. That's all I got to say. Namaste.